going on, Jerome's? So I didn't know that we had entered the Vikings should trade Justin Jefferson portion of the offseason already. I still have my Fire O'Connell and Kwesi decorations up. It's embarrassing of me. But Justin freaking Jefferson had a bit of an injury-marred season, but is still the best wide receiver in the National Football League. Yes, he deserves to be taken care of. Yes, he wants to know who his quarterback of the future is going to be. But JJ, when he came back from that hamstring injury down the stretch, even though the Vikings lost 6 out of 7 games, you just saw the heart, the hat that Justin Jefferson has, the heart of a warrior, I was going to say heart of a lion, but that's not good anymore. But the heart of a tiger. Oh, LSU Tigers. There you go. That makes sense. And a guy, all he wants to do is win. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about being a diva. All he wants to do is have this football team win games, win championships. That's what he wants to do, man. And, injury plague this season, but he still got over 1,000 yards. He has 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Has been named to All-Pro first or second team 3 times. And he's simply the best young wide receiver in the game. And you saw, like, he came out the gates swinging 149 plus yards in the first 3 games, as well as had a couple of big time games against the Lions down the stretch. And it's really stupid. So what people will do is they'll go to wide receiver wins. So the Vikings were 5-2 without Justin Jefferson, including a 5-game winning streak. And then they were 1-8 in games where Justin Jefferson played more than 3 quarters. So he was knocked out of the Raiders game, which is a win. So, again, this is just such lunacy. I mean, tell me again in both of the Lions games at the end of the season that Justin Jefferson was a problem, and it wasn't the defense. Just ridiculous. Just so stupid, man. But a couple factors come in. Justin Jefferson is still, I don't even know if he's entered his prime yet, but he is due a massive, massive contract, potentially the highest paid receiver in National Football League history, deservedly so. And we've said that it's not quite about the money. It's about who the hell is going to be the quarterback, who's going to be the guy throwing him the ball in his prime, which is important. But when it comes down to it, do not trade Justin Jefferson. All right. And you come in and you could be like, oh, but what happens if the Bears offers number 1 overall pick? Bears won't do that. Bears won't do that. Also, the whole thing about it, too, is that I don't think that you would want to trade him in division because then you have to play him twice a year. So that'd be ridiculous. And I know that looking at the draft board, it's like, oh, what if we package JJ as part of a deal with New England? Or what about this? Or what about that? Well, a couple things here. So, this is a pretty damn good wide receiver class yet again. You do have Marvin Harrison Jr., Dunze, you have Neighbors, and all these guys are going to be on the first year of the rookie deals as opposed to having to pay a guy. So that makes him certainly less appealing. And I know we are the franchise of Herschel Walker, so just like, hey, we're owed one. We wrote a makeup call, so let's get the reverse Herschel Walker. By the way, it was a ridiculous trade. So Mike Lynn was GM of the Vikings at the time, and basically, Jimmy Johnson swindled him. He's like, hey, we will trade for these players, but if the player doesn't make the roster or player doesn't play X number of games or isn't on the roster in the future, it is exchanged for a draft pick, which Jimmy Johnson wasn't interested in the players, man. But the whole thing about it is that Herschel Walker going to the Vikings for, 3 firsts? 3 firsts, 3 seconds, and a third? Great. Awesome. Cool. All right. Hey, the Vikings did get back a 3rd-round pick in 1990, and I believe that was Jake Reed. So, there you go. Would the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl without the Herschel Walker trade? Probably. They already had Michael Irvin, and they already had Troy Aikman in place, and also Emmitt Smith was drafted not with directly with one of the picks from the trade, but it certainly helped. I think they got like Russell Maryland and Darren Woodson and all that stuff in the trade. I may be wrong there, but either way, it certainly helped them build a dynasty in the early 90s, and they're still chasing that high. So again, yeah, a lot of Vikings fans are like, well, if a team wants to give up 3 first-round picks for JJ, and then the Vikings can move on up and go get their quarterback of the future, but I'm sort of reticent about it. Nah. No. Because the Vikings, you have Jordan Addison, and you went 5-2 with Jordan Addison as your wide receiver 1. Again, fully understand that, but don't be fooled by randomness. The Vikings potentially could have the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. Jordan Addison is going to feast opposite of JJ, getting double and triple teamed and bracketed all for the years that they're together. And let's face it, JJ is the face of the franchise, and every receiver that you pick, every player that you select, with those picks that you get from Justin Jefferson, you hope that he's 10 cents on the dollar. You hope that he's 25% of the player that Justin Jefferson is. And the whole thing about it, too, is like, is there a guarantee that these guys are going to be superstars? And I understand the value of the quarterback position versus the value of the wide receiver position, and who makes who. Like, do quarterbacks make receivers, or do receivers make quarterbacks? I think it's probably more the former rather than the latter, but you got to think that most quarterbacks worth their salt would look pretty damn good throwing to the best wide receiver in the game, as well as the best second best second year wide receiver in the game next year. All that stuff. And again, I understand it's early in the offseason and you want to explore the space, but nah. Trading a premium player at a premium position, just scratching his prime, even though you do have to pay him, you got the budget for it, you can make it work with the cap, especially with Brzezinski. Nah, that's not how you're going to win football games. And especially a guy with that absolute alpha attitude, a guy that will leave his heart on the field. Justin Jefferson is a captain for a reason. He's a leader for a reason, and guys will follow his lead. As this franchise gets younger, they're going to need a guy like Justin Jefferson who shows them how to win, because that's all that he wants to do. So, you could probably get a bounty for Justin Jefferson, but no, don't do it. Don't do it, man. No. But your thoughts are thoughts. No, don't trade Justin Jefferson. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.